Hey everyone! So, in today's video I decided to do a piece of artwork that is depicting two different people that have been kind of characterized to match their zodiacs. So before I continue, I just wanted to mention that I apologize if my voice sounds a little funny. I've been doing quite a bit of talking today because I actually ended up training someone at my other job today, so my throat was a little bit sore and a little bit scratchy, so I do apologize in advance for that. With this piece, I started off by sketching the couple in a few different poses before I finally decided that the pose that they are currently in was the one that I enjoyed the most. I tried a couple where they were kind of laying across the page, where he was kind of floating up top and she was down bottom, and they were kind of reaching and holding each other's hand in the center, and there was going to be water flowing around them. I really liked the idea of the water flowing around the characters, but I didn't really like the way that the placement was coming out, so I decided to try out the current pose that they're in this video, and ended up really enjoying how it looked. The pose in the sketch really clicked to me, and I just absolutely loved it, so I ended up going with that. In this piece, I really wanted to give this slight sense of elegance to the characters. I really wanted them to seem not necessarily royal, but very proper in a sense. And that's kind of where these golden elements come into play here. So I mainly based these golden pieces off of Egyptian mythology and their way that they kind of dressed their pharaohs and the people that were higher up in their society. And I really enjoyed how this kind of created this appeal to the characters and made them get that elegance that I was looking for. I wanted both characters to accurately represent the people that they were based off of as much as I possibly could, which is why I ended up giving the female character some faintly pink splotches on her skin. There's some on her hands, there's one on her face, there's one on her neck, and a couple on her arms. This is something that is commonly associated with fair skin that a lot of people don't typically understand. When you have fair skin, your skin can be very sensitive, so having just the slightest bit of things rubbing against the skin can cause it to get really red really quickly. So I really wanted to incorporate that, I guess, skin imperfection in a sense. It's not necessarily a flaw or imperfection, but you get what I mean. I wanted to incorporate that and kind of embrace that for this character. I wanted the male character to represent Cancer's loving and passionate personality while still keeping the character fairly masculine. The reasons for this is because I wanted to not only represent the person it's based after as well as I could, but to also create a kind of balance of masculinity and femininity in this piece. So I wanted it to feel kind of balanced in that sense. Not that I'm against having mostly feminine or mostly masculine, it's more like this piece I just really felt like a balance of that would really match, not only with her having lighter hair and the light colored horns and him having the darker hair, and overall her character, her skin even, is a little bit lighter and his is a little bit darker. I wanted to kind of match that by having him a little more masculine and her being a very feminine character. I wanted the characters also to be surrounded by water because Cancer is a water sign, and despite Capricorn actually being an earth sign, it is still often associated with water because it's often depicted as what I like to call a goatfish. It's usually the top portion of a goat with a fishtail or mermaid tail kind of appearance for the bottom half of the body. And I felt like if I created a character that had that fishtail mermaid kind of feeling, as well as the horns. It would not only accurately represent Capricorn, but would also make it so that it would give a perfect environment that both of these zodiac characters would absolutely thrive in, and that's water. So I really wanted to use that water element, and I ended up really enjoying it. I feel like it really pulls the piece together, and it really gives you like a place to look, a focal point. I also wanted the line work for this piece to be fairly detailed with fine lines, and you can mostly see that in the hair, actually. A lot of it got a little muddy when I went over it with the watercolors, but then I went back at the end and really went over those lines a little bit to really darken them up and really make them pop out and stand out so that they're really bold and vibrant, and you can see the amount of detail that was put in with these Micron multi-liners. So that about sums up the entire aspect of how I went about creating this piece and the thought processes behind it. I used Micron fine liners for all of the line work in this piece. Basically, I wanted to just kind of have a throwback and go back to the things that I started off with, because as many of you know, I mostly use dip pens now. I used my koi watercolors to create this entire piece and use the coloring for this piece, and it's all painted onto Canson 140-pound cold press watercolor paper. I do have like a very large watercolor like pad of paper, and those are typically 12 inches by 18 inches, and I just took a paper cutter and cut this down to size, and then I used some painter's tape to kind of tape down the edges and create a very nice, crisp, clean border. So now that I've gotten all of that information out of the way and talked a little bit about that, I just wanted to mention some really awesome things that are going on right now. So right now in my shop, it is a 15% off sale if you use the code MOVE15. I will put that down in the description below. You can also get 15% off a commission using COMM15, COMM15. That'll also be down in the description. These discount codes are to help me pay for the expenses of moving. Yes, that's right, I am currently in the process of moving home. I just got approved for a new apartment, and for much of this month I will be spending the time moving house, moving from one location to the next. And as you all know, moving can be expensive. And to also kind of celebrate this moving and this sale, I got some shirts made. Yup, that's right. I have shirts that have my logo on the front, as well as the phrase, "Have you faced your monsters today?" printed on the back. So, those are only $19.99, and if you use the discount code, you can get 15% off that price. Now, that is a steal, seriously. So, if you want a shirt, or if you're interested in seeing exactly what the shirts look like, head on over to my store Envy shop. There are links everywhere. There's some in the description below, you can find them in the About Me section of my channel, or you can even ask me in the comments below if you really have no idea where to find it. Don't be afraid to comment and like this and subscribe, because it really helps me out, you know, and I like to know that you guys appreciate what I do, and, you know, I really enjoy doing this for you guys. So, yeah, enough of my rambling. I hope you guys liked this piece. Like I said, if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, or even suggestions for future videos, feel free to leave a comment down below. I would love to hear what you have to say. And, you know, as always, hit that subscribe button if you like me and want to see more videos. because I do post new videos every Friday. See you guys next week.